Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Well, halfway through April.
Episode 194.
Yep.
6 more episodes.
Yeah, till 200. So we're going to have some announcements coming up on that. But first, our April giveaway is live, which is the Princess Silhouette Loungefly Backpack. It can also be used as a crossbody if you switch the straps.
Multifunctional.
Multifunctional. And for all you people who've been away on spring break or been with your kids or whatever, I think this is the first giveaway since we started doing these in the pandemic where it's halfway through the month and we have 0 entries. We
Come
don't have
on, guys. You don't
so
want
somebody could
Princess
snatch
Silhouette?
this. Somebody could steal it. Oh yeah,
I
you don't
mean,
want Tracy to steal
Yeah,
it.
you don't want me to get it because I already posted a viral, semi-viral video of the other giveaway that I took.
I know.
didn't really take
For
it.
some reason, people like that.
I didn't really take it. I mean, we ended up giving it to Sylvie, but
Yeah,
she won it. I mean, but
you got the extra one,
yeah.
and
So if you don't enter, I'm going to take this one because I like crossbodies.
no, because then they won't enter. I got to say something that'll benefit me, then they'll do it. Yeah. If you don't enter, I am going to send it as a gift to Governor Ron DeSantis.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
So,
He's gonna be like, "Arr, those Californians,
yeah, he wouldn't like.
those woke Californians. Are they trying to tell me that women power or
Oh,
whatever?"
I'll even do worse. I'll give that to him, and then
Say it's from Newsom.
I'll say it's from Chapek. Or would it even be worse? Because we might have some Ron DeSantis fans who listen to us. So maybe I should just say I'll give it to Chapek because that's universal. People don't like him. A retirement
But-
present for Chapek.
You'd rather have DeSantis have it than me?
No, I'm just trying to motivate our base.
Oh.
But yeah, probably. if he's gonna give us a shout out, yeah. Good old pudding fingers. All right.
Maybe we should give him a spork and stuff. Oh, you know what? Magic key holders get to buy reusable utensils that say Magic Key on it.
Oh, nice.
So that's what we should give him. Because you can use
A lot of people don't even know what we're talking
pudding.
about.
Oh,
But it's again, we're not political. Well, this isn't a political podcast. Tracy's highly political, but she then asked me questions about why am I feeling this way. But, yeah, again, Donald Trump, who we're not fans of, but he is incredibly entertaining.
it's entertaining. It's
A pack,
entertaining.
they found out that Ron DeSantis eats pudding with his fingers, and they put out an ad of him eating
He has
pudding.
his fingers in wrong places or something
Yeah,
like that.
he's eating. It's disgusting. He's eating.
Always sticking his fingers where it shouldn't be or something like that. But yeah, thought we.
I wonder if Disney. I
thought
wonder
we
if
would
Disney's-
send him a spork.
No,
or a
I
Magic
wonder if
Key.
Disney donated to that pack. Because if you're a big donor to a, it's called a political action committee. If you donate to a pack, you give them like $1 million, they'll do whatever ad you want as long as it's in line with their values.
Oh.
I want to audit this pack, see if there's any mysterious, initials BI in there. Oh man,
JD.
if the world wasn't hurting so bad, these things would be a lot funnier.
Yeah.
But we try to bring you some entertainment and some magic. So yes, and to win this Silhouette Loungefly Backpack / crossbody, all you have to do is direct message us via Facebook Instagram, or info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. The answer to this question: if you could create a new Disney princess, where would she be from? Or prince?
Maybe it's the question. No one can think of it any.
Pick a
Because
country.
Disney
Louisiana.
Is,
Oh, we already
Disney
have one from
already
Louisiana.
has everything that they wanted.
No,
I
but
can't
that's
think of
what
anything else.
this is fan fiction. It could be anything.
Disney has already made their wish come true.
Make a Florida princess. Florida woman, Florida girl.
Who eats pudding with a spoon?
Yeah, the most sophisticated person in Florida. I'm joking. People get mad, not mad at me. They're like, "Why are you always making fun of Florida?" I'm like, "Why not?"
You can't make fun of us. I mean,
People make fun of California all
the
the time.
time. You know.
Every single day.
That's why we have all this impossible stuff at our food and wine festival.
I know. Impossible to eat. But yeah. And this ends, I always forget.
April 29th.
Yeah. And 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Must be 18 years or older and live in the United States. But yes, Tracy will try to steal it.
After I saw that one lady wear it as a crossbody, I'm like, hey, this is cool.
Mm-hmm. I already got the June giveaway because we already got stuff planned for May.
Yeah.
Tracy almost tried to steal that one.
No, I didn't. I said it was cool looking, but I said I wouldn't. I don't think I'll want it.
She says that tries to use reverse psychology. But anyway, we got better news, bigger giveaways than us. We will be at Disneyland tomorrow.
Yay.
Well, the Disney parks, Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. We'll be meeting up with some friends and family. We'll be staying at Paradise Pier, and the reason I bring that up is because you can win the Grogu wallet.
Oh, yeah, the
if you
Grogu
just
wallet.
Find us, and it could be anywhere on Disney property.
Yes.
So if you catch us in that elevator that's always slow at Paradise Pier, you can win it. So, and yeah, because some people, they could trap us there. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
So.
Yeah. I mean, when I went, I had the wallet with me, but I wasn't really on social media a lot to tell people where I am.
Well, usually what happens is one of our listeners will give like an alert to one of their friends or family members who's at the parks that day and track them down. Track them down. So, but some big news came out. The last day of Splash Mountain was revealed.
Yes, and it wasn't May 7th.
No. It's May 31st, which means the last day to ride is May 30th.
Yes, the last day of the ride, yeah. May 31st is the first day of closure.
It'll not be open on May 31st.
So the last day is May 30th. And so
there's a lot of stuff we have connected to that. Obviously, podcast mics for Magic.
Yes.
We're doing a huge... he says it's we. I still say it's them because we didn't do the, Johnny and Hannah.
Yeah, Johnny and Hannah's podcast mic for Magic.
Doing
Mics for Magic.
Big campaign for donations to CHOC, the Children's Hospital of Orange County.
California. Not Orange County, Florida.
Oh, I thought you meant Children's Hospital of California. I'm like, no, it's not.
Orange County, California.
Orange County, California. Yeah. They got big goals, but there's a lot of people donating, but we need more. More.
Yeah.
So, go to podcast Mics for Magic on Instagram. Go to follow the link, and the link is directly to CHOC.
Yes.
So no money touches our hands. No money touches Johnny and Hannah's hands. It goes straight to the hospital, and it's their actual donation site. So what do we want to do? What are we doing? Well, there's some stuff we're keeping secret for another week or two.
Yeah.
but we do have some other people who are doing things to help boost this effort.
Well, next week, I know if you guys follow Make It Magical podcast, they did something called Punish the Podcasters. And what it is for every increments of donations, they have a list on their Instagram, and they will do those tasks. Mostly Clayton.
Mostly Clayton.
Clayton's tasks that Clayton would never do, such as eating Dole Whip, things like that. Their list is like, if it reaches the $25 threshold, that's the first one. Try blue or green milk for the first time. $75 is eat a Dole Whip and enjoy it. And it goes on and on. Their goal was $1,800. I know they put where they landed. I think they maybe even met their goal. I'm not sure, but they were close. And the higher it gets, the more difficult the task is, such as ride Grizzly River Run at night.
Oh,
and I was like, well, I want you guys to raise a lot of money, but I kind of feel bad. You have to ride Grizzly River Run at night.
Make them wet.
Yeah.
Get them soaked.
And then,
Sunny, make them go twice.
Get pixie dusted. I mean, it's lucky you're not part of this Punish the Podcaster.
I already said it.
We would be like, eat avocado or something.
Avocado. Brian would eat avocado all day. 30 avocados.
If that's the case, a lot of people will donate. So maybe we should do that. Just kidding. So yes, Emily and Clayton will be at the parks next week. So let's wish them luck and follow along with their. One of them was also because how when one of their episodes about unpopular opinion, Clayton really thinks Olaf is annoying or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they did make it to where he has to wear an Olaf plushie hat the entire
cool.
day, and Emily did show a picture of him in the hat.
That alone is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I was like, don't wear it while riding Splash, because then Olaf will fall in the waters and you'll never see him again.
Hey, let it go. So, yeah. And there's another person who's...
Yes. So another person who's joining on with,
the effort.
The efforts is Moms with Magic Crowns. That's the Instagram, no space, Moms with Magic Crowns. She makes these Mickey crowns. They're like ears, but let's call them crowns, so it's different. It's different from the ears you see.
Mm-hmm.
They're like floral.
Mm-hmm.
So for every purchase without any promo codes, 10% will be donated to Chalk through podcast Mics for Magic.
Yep.
So I bought mine, and if you look in the stories, it's the Disney 100 crown, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, stuff like that really helps. So, anytime we put these things out, it's not just through us promoting this. This is a huge group effort.
Yeah,
Lots
we're
of
trying to
people.
do like a teamwork thing. And on that last day, so far, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Johnny will be there. Hannah from Hannah Learning Disney will be there. I'm sure there's other content creators that's part of this that will be there. So, the thought is for us to... I'm sure Johnny's going to ride it over and over again. We might ride it just once. Then go back to the hotel and change because we're such wimps. But the thought is to maybe be there on the last drop. And I'm pretty sure with the last drop, they're going to let cast members ride it because that's what happened at Disney World.
Mhm.
Cast members were riding the last few drops.
Yeah.
And you know how you stand in that place and you cheer, stand at that, even now with nothing going on, people are still standing there cheering.
Yep.
I can't imagine the last day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it might be a little crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It's during the week though. That's what's weird.
Yeah, it's right after Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's weird about it. Like you weren't gonna go because you're like, oh, I don't want to take more days off because it was your birthday.
Well, because
Yeah,
we're already having a
earlier.
big weekend
Yeah.
in early May.
Yeah, for your birthday. But then Johnny put the pressure on you.
Ugh.
He's like, no. This is what PTO is for.
I give this whole financial speech about not
Yeah.
taking PTO because you're buying a Magic Key. And what do? I not only do I take PTO, I buy you and your mom a ticket this year on top of it. So, yeah, so much for financial Brian. It is what it is.
So we'll be there. We're excited
For a
to
good
meet
cause, though.
all the some of our podcaster friends. We're excited to meet them.
Right. So, yeah, last day and, let's get that money up.
Let's go. Just kidding. And then we'll be doing something that we will probably announce in the next few weeks. Maybe we'll announce it early just to get a heads
Well, it's
up.
going to be. We'll announce it before May.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be something we're going to be doing. We're going to still have our monthly giveaway, but we're also going to be doing another giveaway that will be tied directly to Chalk in this
Yes.
effort.
Because it also is. It happens to fall in the same week as our 200th anniversary.
Yeah.
I mean, not 200th anniversary.
200th episode.
200th episode.
Yeah. So, we're gonna do double duty.
Yes. Yes. So it'll be fun.
All right. Anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it
You'll
for
hear
now.
more from us.
All righty. So, what do we got in headlines?
We have Time Magazine shared that Bob Iger is one of the world's 100 most influential people. And it was revealed in the annual Time 100 list, and he's on the cover.
Yep. And that's it's weird that I don't know if sometimes they do multiple covers. I don't know if that was the only cover, but still, I mean, they probably wouldn't do a lot, and even if that's the case, but he might be the only cover. But it's he's very influential when you think about culture, because he's over the most powerful entertainment company in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people say, well, Comcast is bigger, but
Comcast. I don't even know who the CEO is.
well, yeah, I mean, there are bigger companies that are technically entertainment companies, like providing infrastructure for entertainment
yeah.
and stuff. But as far as content that people consume,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can see why he would be, especially since he came
Influential.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, because if this was his first year, no.
Yeah.
But he was there for how many? 21 years or
Yeah.
something?
And then retired and came back.
Well, no, he was there for longer than 21 years, but he was like, yeah.
I think he said Disney was his first job, right? Right
Yeah,
out
he
of college.
got it when he was 21 years old. That's when
Yeah.
he started at Disney as a
Mhm.
cast member. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, if you are into comic books, they own Marvel comic,
Mhm.
not just Marvel movies, the actual comic books that you read.
Mhm.
Marvel movies, Disney Plus, all the Disney characters going back since the beginning of Disney.
Mhm.
Disney movies, Disney musicals, shows. You're into sports, ESPN.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that is incredibly influential worldwide. And it's so influential that, politicians have to speak to him about stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
they're sitting down talking about, like they were like, what was it about him in China?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that they had to meet. He had to meet with legislatures
Yeah.
about
Not editing for
editing
China,
stuff for
censoring
China.
Mhm.
Yeah, censoring for China.
I mean, it gets to be international type news, and there's a reason that I mean, DeSantis picked a fight with Disney because they're a big dog, and if you can win that fight, you look strong. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now I know a lot of people are, they kind of aren't fans of corpos or any corporation. Corporations shouldn't be so influential. And then, they'll probably think maybe it should go to a humanitarian. Humanitarians don't get a lot of press, They probably need to get better
What
press.
about I don't know how to say her name.
Oh, there you go.
She was, in but wasn't she also in Time Magazine?
Who? See, you don't know.
No,
That's my
because
point.
I can't pronounce her name. Starts with an M.
I don't know.
You know, she's influential.
These are the kind of conversations we have in our marriage. You know who I'm thinking
at
about.
the
Don't act like
Grammys,
you don't know who you think.
Cocaine Bear attacked her at the Grammys
I don't know.
as a joke, of course, but
I don't know.
I think our listeners know who I'm talking about.
Sure. Okay.
Now I gotta look it
No,
up. Okay, I
fact
won't look it up.
checking.
But yes, she's a humanitarian and she's pretty influential.
Yeah, sometimes they sneak through.
This year, I guess, couldn't find anyone.
No,
Or
that's what people are
I
talking
guess
about.
it's Iger this time.
You
Maybe she's on this 100 list.
I mean, to be on the cover though. I mean, 'cause
Yeah, to be on
that's
the
the
cover.
thing. It's like it's not Zelensky from Ukraine on the cover, even though I'm sure he's in there.
Oh. Oh,
But that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's
yeah.
not these people. They put Bob Iger. So, yeah, interesting.
It is interesting.
hmm Hey, I'm a fan of Iger. I know some people aren't. Some of our friends aren't.
No,
But
it's not that. It's just that when they first announced he was coming back, a lot of people thought it. Like we said, it's not going to be all flowers and whatever sunshine going forward. You know, it's still a corporation trying
unless
to.
you buy one of those crowns.
Yes, and it's still a corporation. You know, trying to make money. Like looking at the shareholders and investors. You
Mhm.
know, so it's not going to be like, oh, yay, no more reservation system. Like none of that stuff. It's going to be still the same: cutting costs, layoffs, etc.
Yeah, and they're not the only company that does that. But
Yeah.
but then again, at the same time, that's why people get mad at people who get excited for
Yeah.
that. It's
So
because
you don't hold them up as like,
you know,
you know, some savior. He's not. He's a corpo.
he's a corporal.
He
but
just knows how to talk better
Well-
than Chapek. Much better.
Well, he's also decision making, how you handle things, you know,
Yeah.
and we'll get into some of that in a little bit.
Yeah. So last week we talked about one of the executives that was laid off. You know, Ike Perlmutter,
hmm
the chairman of Marvel Entertainment. And in that Time magazine interview, Iger said it was a necessary step to build a more efficient company because there's already Marvel Studios. So Marvel Entertainment was like sort of a redundancy.
hmm
So
Yeah.
that was, you know, how he decided to shut down Marvel Entertainment.
Yeah, and well, it is a redundancy, you know, and he gets rid of waste, and it's like, and I hate to say this, it's just, especially as coming from a corpo myself. I am corpo, and
Welcome to
I'm an
the
HR
dark
corpo,
side.
so it's like, it's just, but it's like sometimes you do have to. The best thing you can do for employees is to make sure there is not waste,
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately a company is trying to, you know, get the best ROI they can,
Yeah.
whether it's for their investors or whether it's just growth in their space. And the least amount of waste means you don't have to lay people off as much. And so you don't really want a wasteful company. And I always say this, and I mean, this is about the public sector. So public sectors run very differently. But we had a very fiscally conservative board of supervisors when I worked for the county of San Diego for 19 years, up until recently. And they were not stingy, but they always paid us, I would say, you know, low, medium, high. They would call it the mid.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I've said this on the show before that I'd always get frustrated. It's like, look at these people in San Francisco. But, you know, and obviously San Francisco, yeah, higher cost of living than San Diego. Believe it or not, there is higher cost in San Diego. But the Riverside
Mm-hmm.
people was a lower cost of living than San Diego would get paid higher than us.
Mm.
And a lot of people would get upset. But when that 2008 crash came, the
You didn't
entire
have to lay
county,
anyone up.
we laid
off.
off 2 people and then
Yeah.
bought them back. 2 people out of 17,000.
Yeah. Because you were fiscally conservative.
Because there's fiscally conservative and there's very little waste. And then all these other people throughout all these other counties, they were getting pink slips left and right. So it wasn't a fun, you know, time, but it was. I mean, I hate to say it, I actually made money because because back then I was a social worker, I was in a union,
Mm-hmm.
so my pay stayed the same. Well, everything around me got cheaper.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And it was like, because we had good fiscal, fiduciary, responsible people as leaders, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't complain about them anymore because we're like, oh, this is why, you know. So sometimes the best thing you can do for the general populace of the world, but your particular organization in general, is to make sure that, hey, you're not wasting a lot of money on stuff, hiring a bunch of people that are going to have to be let go in a year, because that happens a lot.
Yeah, that's what happens a lot when production is up. They tend to like hire a bunch of people And then when it gets stable, they let them go because now it's a lot of redundancy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the answer to everything when production is up is hire more people, but that's not really the answer. You know?
Yeah, well, or make sure that you just have a good logistical plan. Like, if the economy were to turn around, where are we going to focus our efforts, and can these people still be a value to the company,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we don't have to do that. Maybe put more money into contractors
Mm-hmm.
to where if the economy turns around, okay, we pay them off. We're just stop projects and not
Mhm.
get more contractors on.
Mm-hmm.
You could do more building, more infrastructure stuff. Invest more into, you know, and a lot of people don't like to hear me say it, but automation,
Mm-hmm.
better equipment actually makes productivity go up too. If you have
Mhm.
people whose Outlook doesn't work
Mhm.
because you don't have great servers,
Mm-hmm.
maybe think about that to where the people you have, they can do their jobs better and more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of that, if you still need to hire people, yeah, let's do that, But you got to be very strategic when it comes to that because you're playing with people's lives.
Yeah.
Because when you hire somebody, and a lot of people say, Brian, are you against hiring people? No, what I'm against is somebody leaving a job to come to your organization, and then a year in,
You lay 'em
bye-bye.
off.
You lay them
Yeah.
off, and that affects their entire family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I don't like. I'd rather have somebody just not take the job in the first place, and
Yeah.
instead of
Stay
them
where they were.
thinking they're going to be with you for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, unpleasantness.
No.
What's next?
That's it. The
Okay.
headlines. We have a lot of dot points.
Well, I did have some Reedy Creek stuff.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, and I moved it up from and I know we get sick of talking about it, but doesn't seem to be stuff every week.
Something new every week.
Yeah, so Florida is seeking what's called superior authority, and over the cities that are in the 2 counties that Reedy Creek occupies. I still call it Reedy Creek. I know it's the Central Florida Improvement District or something like that. Something. But it's because, again, DeSantis was basically saying, oh, we're not laying down for this. We could do stuff like put tolls on the roads, do this, put taxes on Disney, which is weird for a Republican to say, hey, you know what? We could tax you more. We're going to tax a corporation more. I'm like, is that really your brand? Like, is that really what you want to say? But yeah, it's that's the kind of stuff that he was doing, and they're trying to seek, what they call superior authority over these things, so they can get more infrastructure stuff controlled. But really, it's like those type of things are going to really. I mean, who does that really hurt? It hurts people who are coming to Florida.
Yeah.
Because all Disney's going to do is pass that on to the guests.
Like tax the hotels. Well, who stays at the hotels? Tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put tolls on the road. Okay, who drives into those? you're like, I mean, that's really just hurting people. And again, people are coming to Florida. They're going to spend money there. Why would you want to limit that?
Them, yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So, and then another thing. Well, first of all, when we talked about how Iger handles things differently, he already just came out with a statement, said, and I think this was maybe in the Time magazine interview or maybe in another one, but he said that, hey, I'm willing to sit down with the governor and talk things out. So, I mean, he's already doing an olive branch. Like, he's not, and that's, to me, is the big difference between him and Chapek. It's not so much that one's a corpo, one's not, or one's this, one's that. It's more about how's your acumen? Like, can you read a room? Are you saying things that are going to make things better or worse?
Yeah.
So he didn't start this mess, and Chapek, but how you handle it is what leadership is really about. He's in charge of a company, right? If you're a general in a war, you're going to order people to be killed. If something pops off, right? We may not like war. We may not like, the fact that that situation is occurring, but if that's what's going on, you still want the best leader possible, right? So I think when I say that I'm a fan of Iger, it's not like, yay, this is the kind of guy I want to speak at my funeral type of thing. And I hope he doesn't because he's freaking 40 years older than me. Well, no, he's probably, I think he's only, 20-something years older than me. But it's more like, I like Disney. Disney's a company. I want the best leadership possible for this company,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we didn't have that previously. So a lot of people saying, hey, I'm willing to sit down. I'm willing to talk, hear what he says, to a lot of people who have imposter syndrome, who are not good leaders, that to them that would be looking weak.
Mm.
I don't think he cares about
No,
that.
he doesn't care. Yeah.
He's got his own Time magazine cover.
I mean, I think Chapek was more like, well, I called him or tried to call him or something, and then that's
Yeah.
what got said to him. I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
But,
because now
yeah.
you got two egos,
Yeah.
and it's just like it doesn't work, you know. So, yeah. Something else that's funny that happened was,
About some missing documents or something.
so they ordered the Attorney General DeSantis requested, technically he ordered it, but the Attorney General of Florida to seek any documents, basically discussing an intention, because how Disney, the old board, slipped all these rules in,
Mm-hmm.
on February 8th. Any documents with the intention or goal of circumventing, avoiding, frustrating, mitigating, or otherwise attempting to avoid the effects of an anticipated actions by the Florida governor and the Florida legislature.
Mm-hmm.
So basically trying to sabotage their efforts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Give us proof that.
Yeah,
Give us
give-
documents showing that they
they
tried
did
to
that.
sabotage.
And since his new board is in there, they're like, oh, yeah. They said, no documents exist. That's how clean Disney is.
Of course, no documents exist, and they didn't slip anything. It was a public hearing.
But here's the thing. There's even me being in HR, I have to remind people not to vent
Mm-hmm.
on emails or on Teams. All this stuff is public record. I mean, could be public record. Even if you work for a private company, if somebody sues you, they can get all that stuff in discovery. That's why private companies have to keep things, especially if you're doing anything healthcare related or anything that deals with public-private partnerships. There's certain things you have to keep for so many years. Sometimes it goes up to 10 years. There's some things, believe it or not, that go to 30 years. So
Yeah.
So the fact that they can't even find an email about some employee just saying, man, I really hate this stuff. I really
Yeah.
hate what the government is doing. That's how clean Disney is.
Yeah.
They
I know.
They probably said, hey, if you're going to vent, do it over the phone. If you want to talk about Ron DeSantis, do it on your personal devices. Don't do anything or write anything down in that's official.
Mm-hmm.
That takes organization and very good logistics and very good I would say leadership, because you'd be surprised at when you look at a lawsuit for any company,
Yeah,
the
there's
type of
always something.
stuff
Yeah.
that they find that comes up
Yeah.
about, especially wrongful termination lawsuits,
Yeah,
and
it's always something
it's-
discoverable.
and it could even be something about a horrible employee,
yeah.
and then you'll find out their supervisor calling them the B word or something.
Yeah,
and
something
technical,
technical
on a company email.
And it ruins the whole case
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, even though
Yeah.
they were probably within their rights to terminate the
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
it just tanks them.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they have nothing, and this is the new board saying, we can't find anything,
Mm-hmm.
Daddy. We can't find anything, Daddy pudding. We can't. That's incredible,
Yeah.
because it's his people saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dang, they really they did a job. They either scrubbed it or they were just really disciplined. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if DeSantis takes the offer for a sit down, and as the days of our lives, I guess.
Days of our lives.
All right.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
So this week, I thought we would talk about some Disney drinks we recently had. One cocktail,
Mm-hmm.
one slushy, and one mocktail. So the slush slushie was more the passion fruit orange guava slush that you had at the Galactic Grill.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, that's
really
an
good.
interesting combo.
I didn't think I would like.
Yeah, because you never like guava passion fruit.
I don't even drink slushies really at Disney.
Yeah,
But I was just, I don't know why.
the only slushie we drink is the margarita, the frozen margaritas in
Mhm.
DCA.
Yeah, we drink
Those are
like
good.
the bad things. But
This is not alcoholic.
you were gonna try to get that pretzel again because you,
Yeah.
you know,
I did.
and
get the
so
pretzel.
I'm like, I'm just thinking, well, what kind of slushy? They always have like some slushy. there.
Yeah.
You said they have this. I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. You
Mhm.
know, and yeah, I was surprised. It was kind of tangy, and I like tangy.
Yes, because it's
slushies.
the orange, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't like tea. I just like sweet.
You know, yeah.
But-
it was
It's good.
it was a lot better than I mean, I thought it was gonna. Disney stuff's always good. It's
Yeah,
always
because they have these tropical fruits in there. So I
Mm.
think it's,
yeah.
you know.
But it exceeded my expectations. Maybe we should
Oh,
start giving
wow.
like a 1 to 10 rating on this.
I
thing.
know, huh?
This would probably be an 8.5.
Mm.
It was good. Not the best thing I've ever had at Disney, but
Mm-hmm.
it was good. Definitely recommend it.
They still have it there. I don't know if it's part of the 100th thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still there. And then the next thing was a cocktail, and it's the Prickly Paloma from Sonoma Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
It's there for the Food and Wine Festival, and it's basically tequila, prickly pear, and grapefruit ginger beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that had a
It
lot
was
going
good.
on. It was good, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
How did you like it?
I liked it. You know me, a little too sweet, blah blah, but it's good.
So you just said you like sweet. I like just sweet. Okay.
No,
well, it's
but
tangy.
it would
I
not.
mean,
No, without the sour. I like sweet slushies that's not too sour. But if it's a cocktail, it should have some sort of alcohol flavor.
Well, not alcohol.
Yeah, I had tequila, but I couldn't really taste it.
Mm.
I liked the drink with the flour in it better. Sake melon
It's
something.
like eating a flower.
But no, this was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I would give this one a 7.
yeah, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is a mocktail that you didn't have. I had it when I was there with Carrie at the Magic Key Lounge, and it was the Heimlich Choo Choo Juice. It's after the bug Heimlich.
Yeah. Well, if you chew good, you don't need a Heimlich.
Heimlich Choo Choo. Oh, no, not that Heimlich. Anyways, it's Minute Maid lemonade with Granny Smith apple syrup and a fresh watermelon on top. It looks pretty, and it's basically juice. But it looks really pretty. Like you can see a picture that I posted with the watermelon on top. So that one was good. If you're hot, it's very refreshing.
Out of 10?
7.5.
Okay. So are there any, you still have one tab left on your.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I want to get that steak thing. I think it's like I have to get a meat if I'm going to use my tab. use meat.
You cling to these tabs.
It's at the Garlic Kiss booth, and it's like grilled sirloin, top sirloin, with roasted garlic Gruyere mashed potatoes
Mm.
and garlic chimichurri
Ah.
sauce. So yes, tomorrow, rain or shine, I have to have that, or I have to use that tab.
It's not supposed to rain, so we will see.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not sold out by the time you go to it.
Ugh.
All right.
So I don't know if you saw, but the Marvels trailer came out. Their first trailer. It looks fun.
I showed you. What do you mean? Well, you know if I saw?
No, like I'm talking to
The
our
listeners.
listeners, not you, not
Ah.
Brian.
You were looking at me in the eye, like you want me to
No, I was
respond.
looking somewhere else. I meant I don't know if you saw, listeners. Yeah, the Marvels trailer.
Yeah.
The movie comes out November 10th.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool because it takes up, well, at least the trailer does.
It picks up from
right after Miss Marvel.
yeah.
Because spoiler, but at the end of Miss Marvel, the mid-credit scene
Mm-hmm.
or extra credit scene or whatever you call it, she uses her power and disappears, and Captain Marvel takes her place.
Yep.
And so that was pretty cool. And it was so basically, and everyone was speculating like, did she turn into Captain Marvel or what happened? But basically, they swapped places, and it confirms that in the trailer because Monica Rambeau, who's the third Marvel, is in space talking to Nick Fury, and she's about to touch a jump point. You know those things in Guardians of the Galaxies where they doom 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 have all these hexagonal shapes. And then she turns into Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan, she swaps places with Kamala Khan. So all three of them are jumping and trading places, and I don't know if there's a particular order,
Yeah.
like who uses the power and what, and who does what, who goes to where. But it was funny. It was convenient because when they swap places, they change clothes. But since not Captain Marvel, but Monica Rambeau was in space, it's very lucky that the space suit didn't change
Yeah.
and swap places, because then Kamala would be in space
Yeah.
and
Without
can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
And very cold. And then there's also radiation issues. So she goes into her spacesuit and asks Nick Fury, "Hey, is this an Avengers test?"
Hey, Nick Fury.
I guarantee you, in the movie, she's going to be a show stealer.
Yeah,
Because
kind
the
of
other
like how
two are
Shuri
very
was.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's funny. She's hilarious. So,
She's kind of like Flash in Justice League.
better.
Kind of.
Better.
Yeah.
And she's an innocent nerd in her real life, so that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not under indictment. So, yeah, it was a pretty cool movie. They keep jumping around. They show kind of like, I mean, they didn't give away a lot of the story, which is cool. I like that. But they did show some Creed. They showed Goose, the Flurgan cat.
Oh, that's right.
People.
The Flurkin cat.
The big stars of Miss Marvel were actually, other than her, were her family, and so I guess they play a big role in this because they get their house smashed up because of all this teleporting. Yeah, and apparently this takes place after Secret Invasion. So a lot of people are saying, well, does that spoil that Nick Fury lives? And so I'm like, maybe.
He could be a
Skrull. Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah, it's gonna be. It looks fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes Marvel movies just need to be fun. I don't know. All the nerds are like, well, how does this connect to the multiverse saga? Are we gonna see Kang? It's like, yeah, it's probably gonna have something to do with it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's teleporting everywhere, so it might be.
Maybe. But I mean, usually they'll save a lot of those tie-ins for the mid or extra credits. But it just has to be fun. It just has to be good.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like when Iger first came back, kind of what he said. I don't know if it was him or one of his subordinates, but yeah, I think you kind of have to predict the cycle of these things. So a long time ago, I think it was probably pre-Infinity War. It's probably Phase 2 or at the beginning of Phase 3. Steven Spielberg says, and everybody called him a hater then, even me. I was like, man, what are you hating? But he was like, yeah, superhero movies will just probably be the way of the Western. It's going to be this crazy thing through the 50s, early 60s, and then you get maybe...
It disappears.
Yeah, and then you get one good one every few years. You know what I mean? That could happen, but I do think it's smart to look to the past to kind of predict, like, this Marvel thing. Again, I already came out on this podcast and said there's not going to be another Endgame.
Yeah.
So everybody who's looking forward to that was the peak. And I'm not saying that they can't have another huge movie. I'm sure Secret War is going to be huge. I'm sure Kang Dynasty is going to be huge as far as numbers. But I don't think it's going to be as culturally impactful because once it's already happened before. And then it was just almost done. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it's one of those things like you can't have another original Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, you can have other movies that are good, but, it's never going to be the same.
Yeah.
Especially, since it already happened, you can't recreate something that was a first time for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they need to start looking at it like, okay, how do we manage this, knowing that people do have changing interests. You know, the kids who saw Iron Man 1 are now in college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of them even graduated college. So
2009.
yeah, so
That was like a while ago.
yeah, so I mean, it's one of those situations where, and again, going back to what Iger said, or again, it could have been one of his subordinates. I think it was him. Do we need a fourth
Yeah, he
Thor?
said that. Mhm.
Do we? I don't think we need another Captain Marvel after this.
Mm-mm.
Even if it's a great movie, even if
Yeah.
this one's good, I think we're good.
We're good with origin stories.
Origin stories is what you need. You need to introduce new characters.
I mean, with individual,
hmm
like one-off, origins, just one or two origin story of the one character or superhero, but that's it. We don't need 3 or 4.
Yeah, because it gets to a point to where you're like, we're just trying to shake that money tree.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, people like Thor, let's make a Thor 5. Like, no, then it's kind of like diminishing returns at
Yeah.
that point. Like, people will still show up to see it, but like, these are like $250 million movies.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
We need another mini Avengers like Captain America Civil War.
Those are good. Like crossover films
Yeah.
are good, but you can only have so many of those. You don't want to go to the well too many times on that.
Yeah.
But we need one of those, and every so often, and then a big, end game type
At the end.
Infinity War type stuff, which they're doing. But if you want to continue the superhero genre, you got to introduce new things, and this is where I think a lot of the hardcore nerds get really mad because they're introducing Moon Knight, they're introducing Miss Marvel, and it's like these are the same people who get mad at Rey. They're like, why? And you could hear it on the internet. Why are they coming out with another Rey movie for Star Wars? And it's because
Maybe
the little those 5 and 6 year old little girls who saw the last Skywalker or the sequel trilogies that you guys hated, the same way the boomers hated the prequel trilogies that you guys love. That's gonna be their Star Wars.
That's true.
There, I see when Galaxy's Edge opened till
Yeah,
now,
these
there's still little girls
dressed
come
as
there
Rey.
with Rey.
Yep.
Every time we go to Disney, we see at least 2 little girls dressed as Rey.
Yeah.
And I know that blows people's minds. Like, how could they? Well, because they're kids.
Yeah, they gotta relate.
And that's
to
their Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's the way a corporation needs to think. They need to think, 20
Maybe
years down the
they'll
road.
dress as
When these kids get old enough to have kids of their own,
Yeah.
they're going to bring them to another Star Wars movie that they're going to hate,
Yeah.
but their kids are
kids
going to
will
love.
love. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you got to keep introducing new material.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Spider-Man's classic. People are always going to love Spider-Man, Superman, Wonder Woman. They're always going to like Captain America and Iron Man, But you got to introduce new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the kids feel like, especially when the kids see like a Kamala Khan who is doing things that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
She's using the cell phones they're using.
Yeah.
She's talking about issues that are happening to them.
Yeah.
And so that's how you build that connection. And when they get older, like, oh, that was one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and then they bring their kids because someday Moon Knight, Loki, Kamala Khan is going to be somebody's nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of these, diehards don't understand. Your nostalgia
like the
from the
change.
90s is not going to be me and Emmy's nostalgia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Raya's going to be someone's nostalgia, and going,
Hey, Emmy still likes Snow White. She was like the old
it's
school.
classic. She's classic. I'm not saying the classics will always remain the classics, and that's kind of what I mean. But introducing new stuff
Yeah.
is what's going to keep Disney afloat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So good trailer. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
And the Beastie Boys song.
Oh, the
Intergalactic.
intergalactic in the trailer.
Got us all
It started getting
90s kids
90s kids.
hyped up,
Yeah,
like
so
us Gen
they hook the
Xers.
parents. The parents turn it on, and then the kids are like, "Ooh." So, yeah, really cool. All right.
All right, in other news, starting Tuesday at Disney World, annual pass holders will be able to get into Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom after 2 p.m. daily without securing reservations first.
Yeah.
Oh, without
Yeah.
securing reservations.
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna do that in California. I know there was some talk, but
Oh, if you go after 2, you don't have to make a reservation.
yeah, I think that's gonna be because it'll be flooded. Because
Yeah.
there's just too many people that live next door to Disney. And when
Yeah.
I mean by live next door, I mean within 15 minutes.
Yeah, like you know how Christina's like, oh, you guys are there? Okay, let me just make a reservation right now. Like, and then I'll come. Like the same
like-
day.
or
Or when
like
Sylvie met with us,
Sylvie.
and she just made a reservation.
Yeah, hey, we'll give this away to you if you just, I'll come. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
like it's so trippy at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's
Same day
so-
reservations are
you know.
do open up the same day. And then it says the same thing will happen with Magic Kingdom, but not on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, so they're even having to limit that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, Magic Kingdom, that's kind of crazy.
Yep.
So I think that kind of stuff's good. Iger promised to try to be more flexible, open things up.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of it. So, after 2, that's not bad because sometimes we haven't shown up until after 2.
Yeah, but for
And-
Disney World, that's kind of rare, unless it's just the local people. But if you're an annual pass holder, you're probably a local anyways.
yeah,
Disney World.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, let's say, like, you live an hour away, even,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, oh, I can't get it. I'm blocked.
Mhm.
I'm not blocked, but it's sold out. That reservation's sold out for that day. But you got friends who are going.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can meet you after 2.
Yeah, I'll meet you after 2.
You
And,
know, I just won't rope drop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because 2 to midnight, that's still freaking 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that you can hang out with somebody. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So if they said like after 8, I'd be like, I don't know if that's what. You know what I mean? But 2 o'clock, that's still fairly early.
Yeah, that's not bad. If you just want to go meet a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that happens a lot. How many times, were we there? It's like, I don't know if I can get a reservation or something. We didn't know you were going to be there, or we're going to be there, but then somebody else tries to get it, and because or like we want to meet somebody there, but because ticket holders can buy tickets more in advance,
Mm-hmm.
and by the time we try to get it, it could be
Yeah,
sold out.
it's sold out or something.
Yeah, it's I think that's a really cool flexibility, and it's going to really serve people. It's just going to get them more revenue.
Yeah.
Because if somebody just goes there after 2 and has a drink, they didn't spend the first 10 hours at the park standing in line taking up space
Mm-hmm.
for other people. So
Mhm.
good on them.
Okay, so Nani is that how you
Nani.
say her name? Nani?
Mhm.
Nani in Lilo and Stitch will be played by Sydney Elizabeth Agudong.
Mhm.
There's a live action Stitch?
Coming out.
Oh, another live action? Well,
I
we
know
haven't
you
even
hate-
watched the original.
I have, but you haven't.
You have?
A long time ago. But it's before I met you.
Oh, I guess let's watch it
Yeah.
so I know what's going on, what people are talking about.
Yeah.
So it sparked some colorism debate.
Yeah. And it was, things get ugly
so
online these days.
is Nani the
The
main
older
character?
sister. No, she's the older
Oh,
sister.
I see.
And she looks indigenous in in the animated version, and she's dark.
Mm-hmm.
And the actress that they got to play her is lighter skin. She's biracial.
Oh.
And so a lot of people were like, this is whitewashing, even though she's Hawaiian. She's still
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
she's still
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
Yeah. But she's biracial. And it's like, okay. And so I got in a big fight because it's like, well, the same people who are okay with Ariel are saying this is whitewashing, and and they got into this big back and forth over, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I think people, and this is where the authoritarian in me comes out. There's 8 billion people on the planet.
Can't please all of them.
It's not even you can't please all of them. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Most of your opinions don't matter. The internet makes it you think that it matters.
Yes.
But if this happened 20 years ago, no one would even hear you.
Yeah.
I
You wouldn't even know.
don't think
until you
I don't
went.
think social media is good for a lot of people's mental health.
No.
Is this whitewashing? I don't think so. Because what it is that a lot of people are thinking because of the Ariel thing
Oh.
that Disney kind of is like, well, we need to put a lighter skinned person. That's not how they think.
I know. It's just like auditions are open. Whoever is a good actress who passed the screening gets it. You
Yeah.
know, I think
And she-
that's what it is.
Yeah, and she probably has to sing or something. And
Yeah.
she probably has to, it is what it is, She's Hawaiian. I mean, she's whatever, Should she look exactly like the character? I don't know because I wouldn't, Now, is that something that even film studios should always consider? I think there is a time and a place for them to have a discussion internally about what they want to do and what kind of backlash they could face and, do we have representation? But I think if there's a company to go after for that, it's not Disney. I mean, I think if you look at all the companies in the world, most of them, again, Disney is really powerful. I just started the podcast with this. Culturally, I understand why they get the backlash because they do influence a lot.
Yeah.
Everything that China's doing right now with the Belt and Road Initiative and doing all this stuff, that soft power is what Disney has just in one company. And that's why they want them to censor stuff at China because it's like, don't influence our population with your Western values and stuff. But I think that it gets to a point to where, well, first of all, 10 people online, even 100 people online, even if it's 1,000 people online, that doesn't still, most people don't post. So you can't take that, a bunch of stuff on Twitter is indicative of how the population
of how the
feels,
population feels. Yeah.
right? People on Twitter are people on Twitter. I have a Twitter. Rope Dropping Knowledge has a Twitter. Our episodes are uploaded. The links are uploaded to the Twitter. I haven't actually looked at it.
I don't even know.
I don't even know if they're
into it.
actually. Yeah, it's like.
Hey, you
most-
should look. Maybe we've been retweeted.
And I have Twitter.
Yeah.
That's I'm actually somebody who has Twitter.
Yeah.
Most so most people who have Twitter don't even look at Twitter.
Yeah.
So and then you have people who don't even have Twitter. You know what I mean? That most of the world doesn't have Twitter.
Right.
So the people who have Twitter are just weird nerds, like news nerds. They're like news nerds and complainers.
Yes. Yes.
It's kind of like electronic Karens. From every demographic, from every political spectrum. And it's just like they just want to be heard, because they weren't heard as children or something. I don't know.
Now that's different from YouTubers who review movies and break down movies and, give their reviews, than the complainers who keep negative, like that.
We had there's another company that me and my sister own, and it's called Original Hoppa. And, because my sister, lived in Hawaii, she's part Asian. And then there was a model who she knew that we used for one of our clothes, and one of the designs we had, but she had blonde hair. And then somebody came on, the ad thread and said, "You call this Hoppa? This person isn't even Asian. Sell out much." And it's like, actually, she is half Asian, and she's actually from Hawaii.
She just happened to have blonde hair.
She just happened to have blonde hair, and someone was complaining about it
Yeah.
because she looked too white.
Yeah.
According to this person.
Yeah.
And then my sister wanted to go off on it. I'm like, no, that's how you get into stupid stuff. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But I did. That person left their account open. The account's not private. I looked, and I looked at just looked through her account, and like this person has this person. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to put on blast. But it was she had a hard life. You know what I mean? And it's like you look at stuff. I mean, and she's the type of person who posts all her business on her Medium, and I'm like, that's where the empathy comes in. It's like,
yeah. Do you really want to argue with her? She's
well,
already,
not even argue with her, but I see there's a lot of people who do want to be heard, but there's a reason. It's because they don't feel heard.
Yeah.
But if you're the target of that, you feel like the world is against me, and it's not. It's just, it's people here and there.
And most of them are trolls, anyways.
And there's trolls too. People who just, and I don't know who do I feel worse for? People who actually have trauma in their lives that feel that they need to be heard, or people who just don't have a life and just feel
really need to be heard.
I don't know.
Internet is an interesting place.
But yeah. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I mean, and that's why I always tell you, like, when you would get up, I'm like, don't you ever post anything in response to something, you know, because it's like it's drawing you into an imaginary
time. Who has time?
Especially when we found out how many bots were on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And now that we have AI, how stupid would you feel if you got into an argument with
bot.
somebody that's not even real?
Yeah.
And now we have AI that can actually argue with you.
Yeah.
You know? There's going to be people on ChatGPT just plugging it into their system.
It's true.
And people are going to just be arguing with it like a freaking circuit board. So, yeah. You know, is whitewashing a thing? Yeah. You know, but is Disney the company that is probably at the forefront of trying to undo that? Probably. You know what I mean? And is this actress good? Probably. Is she Hawaiian? Yeah. You know, I don't know. You know, I think I'm not one of those people who'll be like, oh man, it doesn't seem like you can say anything today. I'm just saying, don't let it affect you emotionally.
Yeah.
On either side. If you're sick of hearing it, don't let it affect you emotionally. If you see something you don't like, don't let it affect you emotionally. You know, speak out against things that are really near and dear to your heart, man. We got wars going on, remember? we got the economy that's in trouble. We got people, you know, we got real issues in the world. So that's what I'll say on that. But, and this is for a real issue, apparently a kid got hit by a dog leash.
In Florida.
In Florida.
At Hollywood Studios, to be specific.
Yeah.
Yes. So a child and his parents, I guess, or father or whatever, was at Disney World at Hollywood Studios, and a security guard witnessed his dad hitting him with the other end of the leash, the dog's leash. The report just came out recently, but this happened in December, and everything was highly redacted. But the security guard's witness is what the information we're getting is that, yeah, he observed a man walking with his kid, and then the kid, I guess, was walking slower in the way, and the man tripped over the kid and fell, and when he got up, he hit the kid with the leash. And, yeah, so that's what went on at Hollywood Studios.
So, yeah.
Don't hit your kid with a leash.
I think we should always
and the sheriff was called.
End the podcast with a Florida news.
No, there's a Anaheim one. It's Disneyland Forward.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I
thought that was the last one. I wanted to end it with the Florida one.
No, let's end it on a nice, not nice, but neutral, whatever. So there's a public meeting regarding Disneyland Forward.
Was it a CNI dog?
Huh?
Because then he could really say, I didn't see the kid.
No, it hit the man tripped on the kid, not the dog.
I know, but he said he didn't intentionally mean to hit the kid with the leash.
Oh, yeah.
So if it was a CNI dog, that's a great alibi. Just saying.
He didn't say. But there's a... Let me finish my story.
I wasn't finished with the other one. I want to
Okay,
cut you
okay.
off. We're going to hit... No, I'm joking. You know.
Yeah, there's a public meeting regarding Disneyland Forward. And Disneyland Forward, if you recall, a while ago, it was about Disneyland's theme park expansion plans. So this public meeting is going to be held tomorrow on a Saturday, 9 to 11, at Eucalyptus Park. And it's basically the team there to answer any questions from the community about Disneyland Forward. You know,
Hmm. And it's Saturday, so I'm always thinking anything going down on a Saturday that involves politicians and corpos is shady.
it says
There's a
it's
brief,
for the community.
yeah, it's a briefcase full of cash being passed around.
Community meaning like there to answer like, hey, are you gonna bulldoze my house down to expand Disney, like things like that. But I mean, that's not.
It
Really
reminds me of
concern.
that old school. This is how old I am. That monorail episode of The Simpsons. Were you sent here by the devil? No, good man. I'm on the level.
That's funny.
Monorail, monorail.
Okay, I don't know
That's what
that
that's what those things are. You know, people. You know, that's how Reedy Creek
Reedy
got
Creek?
got juiced. They did a community thing. It was probably on a Saturday. All DeSantis people didn't want to show up. And then-
Free donuts and coffee.
yeah. Hey. We might just show up. Whether we in Anaheim.
Yeah. I don't even know where Eucalyptus Park is. I'm assuming it's Anaheim, but I don't know.
It's got to be in Anaheim.
Right? I don't know.
That would be dastardly. That'd be something that Disney could pull. It's like,
It's like in.
we're gonna have a community thing, but it's in LA. so, so nobody for the community can actually
Wait,
show
there's
up.
a Eucalyptus Park in Chula Vista.
Yeah.
in
There's
springtime.
lots of eucalyptus parks.
Oh.
Most of them in
Well,
Australia.
then which Eucalyptus Park? It probably is in San Diego.
That'd be hilarious.
Because there's a big NAM convention going on this weekend. So who's going to be
Yeah.
at this park? Nobody.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the actual residents of Anaheim are going to go to the NAM convention. So if they're thinking about their house being bowler, but it's not. It's not going to. It's just about expanding, and they're going to say they're going to be bringing more jobs and more opportunities, and that's what Disney's thing is going to be. And they're going to talk about all the residents are going to be like, well, what about the traffic and the noise and
Oh, yeah,
and
things like that.
da-da-da,
Yeah.
and so that's
Or maybe
kind
the
of stuff.
taxi people.
Yeah,
You know how they
The
don't let
taxi-
taxis park there anymore.
yeah. Which I wish they would.
When are we gonna let us back in or
But
something?
see
I
that
don't know.
Disney be like, we'd love to have you in. The cities don't want to kick them out because that's city land.
Oh, that's right.
So they might be there, but they'll be yelling against the city.
Mm.
So, all right. Well, that was episode 194, I think. And we will be back next week with our Disney adventures from tomorrow. And yeah, just remember our giveaway. And we'll be coming to you with other updates about the Chalk donation and Splash Mountain events. And yeah, that's it for today. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.
Like, what if they just listened and they think we forgot to turn it off and they just heard us fighting and stuff? And be like, Tracy, what are you doing? And you're like, Brian, I hate you. I hate you.
Arr!
You start yelling at me in Vietnamese.
That's our end credit scene.